We had had multiple calls for service at this residence for this individual, and the situation had slowly been progressing up until he and I had been dispatched to the call for service. Previous incidents, he basically had made some statements and then went into his apartment, and the officers tried to talk with him through like a window, and they weren't able to really gain much rapport with him other than escalate the situation, so they had left.
We were receiving several different calls at the same time. And then we also had a reporting party or a lady that was calling in from one of the complexes that happened to be neighbors. This individual was knocking on her window and telling her to come outside. She had mentioned that he had a large gun.
As the calls continued to come in, he had been coming out of the apartment, had been threatening his neighbor, and then when we were dispatched, he started actually firing rounds. First of all, our goal was, it sounded like he had went into his apartment, so our goal was to let's get to a staging location and develop a plan. And we just drove straight in and grabbed our gear that we needed and moved from there.
We came into the area and we were able to come into it blind, so to speak, without this individual knowing we were there.
Well, I had my rifle up and my job was to protect him from getting to the victim's apartment. He was inside his apartment yelling. Eventually he came outside, and at that point he started walking down the stairs, and that's where I had my sights on him, and as soon as he started walking down the stairs, he got behind this angle of a very large tree. So at that moment I couldn't see him or figure out where he was at, so I was behind the engine block of the car, and at that moment is when I heard gunshots.
I immediately kind of came back around the corner. I could see the individual on the stairs. I could see that he had a shotgun. I could see that he was threatening you all. So I actually put the shield down, and at that point just drew my weapon, and I could hear the commands being given for him to drop the weapon. At that point, after running a bunch of things through my head, I discharged my weapon. I heard the other shots go off from the other officers. We came up with a very quick plan in terms of how we were moving up. We were going to move up together because we had no idea if this individual was still a threat.
We didn't have much time to think or talk about what was going to happen, but we all just knew what to do. And we relied on each other, yeah. As everyone had a job, we did that job, and we all went home safe.